やはりどこまで行ってもミッドの主導権争いというのは非常に大事になってくるとは思うので、ここ思い切って CGA としてはノーチラスと
Alrighty, and welcome back.
両方とも決して
Game 5 about to be underway.
どこかのタイミングで
CGA versus Rascal Jester. It all comes down to this. Now, we have seen we've seen different styles of play coming out in this series so far. We've seen a decent amount of adaptation, with Rascal Jester being the last ones to pick up a win. It's up to CGA to make something happen to pull this game out. Both teams seem fairly set in on the bans for now. CGA rounding out a familiar face of bans, the last one changing up a bit here, throwing it over to the Ferris for the side of Rascal Jester. Now this is a little bit of an interesting one, as we have seen the Tom Kench banned away and not a lot of attention given over to the to Senna at all in this series actually. But with CGA comfortable to retake their position on set, Rascal Jester can kind of now need to decide. You can pick up the Aphelios again if that is the route you want to go down. We have seen that done before. We have seen them put priority on it before. But maybe it's time to change things up, and Rascal Jester looking at their jungle pickup here will be opting into that on the R1 instead, giving them time a little bit of extra time to decide. Senna TK is available, as well as Senna and some other defensive tanks if they want to go down that route. It looks like it will be the Aphelios, Rascal Jester. Familiar picks, just slightly different order on this one as CGA. Going to look at Sejuani once again, and will it be the Silas that they end up picking up once more? For Arya in the mid lane, possibly returning to a strategy that worked before, and it looks like they'll run it back once more. Arya going to be piloting the Silas into the mid lane here. That will leave Ninja to decide what he is going to be picking up. Karma possibly looking at, and they will be locked in once again. Does offer the same sort of flex pick that it has been in the past. The question is really, what will CGA move as far as this set? The Kaisa ban coming in from Rascal Jester, though. Recognizing that with the Silas already making it through, no need to put more mid lane bans out there. So they ban away the Kaisa from the side of CGA, and in response, they ban away the Kennen from the top lane. As well as Draven taken off the table. And I do enjoy the Draven pick taken off. The last thing you need for the side of Rascal Jester is to have to deal with one of those heavy lane bullies that can really kind of stifle any chances of Aphelios getting through laning phase with decent gold in his pocket. Morgana ban picked up, and Diana locked in from the side of Rascal Jester. A bold pickup right away from the side of RJ, throwing down the gauntlet a bit here. An answer potentially to the mid lane, not wanting the Kassadin this time, wants to try the Diana out. CGA locking in the Xayah and the Rakan, it looks like. And this is looking like a very apt comp for the side of CGA. A lot of engaged potential. Xayah and Rakan also having picked up a lot of priority in other regions as well. Showing its face here. Rascal Jester will have to choose where their next pick goes. Is this Karma going to the top lane? Remains to be seen, and with Nautilus locked up, it likely might be. So it looks like the Karma will be heading up towards that mid lane. Or excuse me, that top lane, excuse me. Meanwhile, in the bot lane side of things, Xayah Rakan into Aphelios Nautilus. Nautilus will have to do a bit to kind of peel away for now. Just kind of try and deny any engage. It is a little bit interesting to pick up the Nautilus. It does offer you that kind of hard engage tool. And I do tend to talk about how important it is to have engage options. But for the side of Rascal Jester, in this scenario, counter engage may have been a little bit more valuable. With a Sejuani and a Rakan, both champions that are going to look to try and take a hard engage. Possibly could have been looking at other picks, but either way. The comps are set. It looks like Crest Gaming Act going back to what they've had success on in the past and changing it up slightly with this Xayah Rakan pickup. Meanwhile, Rascal Jester trying something a little bit different with the Diana in the mid lane. But Cog familiar to this matchup by now, as well as Hachimecha, enjoying his aggressive junglers as he typically does. The question sort of turns to Rek'Sai in this matchup. Will he be able to be aggressive enough to leverage advantage over the Sejuani?
LJL 2020スプリングスプリットプレーオフラウンド1マッチ2ゲーム5ラスカルジェスター vs クレストゲーミングアクトの試合スタートです。
Alright, and as we load things in here, you see fairly standard runes all the way across. Nap still opting for that fleet footwork for this matchup specifically. Meanwhile, on the side of Rascal Jester, a lot of Conqueror showing its face here.
ルーン選択にしているといったところでしょうか。
これはカルマとのマッチアップで今日も同じようにやっていたルーンをもう一度と。
そうですね。
さあ今回忍者が選択してダイアナは征服者にしています。さあそしてジャングルのスタート位置ですが。
As we kind of look across the comp here on both sides, Yoshi of course still does get a lot of value out of following up with Arya. Having the Frostbite passive kind of stack up, it doesn't stack quite as fast as it does in the game prior due to the lack of the Aatrox kind of able to move forward very well with Arya and Yoshi. The sort of trade-off is that Rakan offers a great follow-up engage as well as a little bit of disengage, where he can self-peel for himself in being able to E onto the Sejuani and then move the engage even further in, and then peel himself back out with the second E dash. The other thing this offers is Gengo and Grendel having that bot lane 2v2, or having that bot lane duo. They might be able to get the better end of some of these early engages. Of course, with jungle assistance, and speaking of jungle assistance, Ninja looking for a bit of that on his own. The flash is not good. Arya lands the E, and the stun was still to come. Ninja tried to just get out to safety before the passive stacks were in. But Ninja getting first blooded very early on as Grendel looks for counter engage here. No E available. We'll take a ton of damage on that one, but ultimately no harm, no foul there. Hachimecha looks to try and find something onto this bot lane here. Yoshi, recognizing Hachimecha on that end of the map, will back away towards the other crab. But that's not a good sight to see if you are the members of Rascal Jester. The last thing you need is Arya getting ahead once again. You've seen what he can do with a lead. Starting up early on, and he already is purchasing the Dark Seal, which is the exact kind of confidence you love to see from a lot of these laners. Although Dark Seal is somewhat of a standard pickup for him, he does enjoy the extra value coming out of the corrupting pot, so I won't say anything about that one too much. But Yoshi might have something to say about this one, as Ninja going to wander over here, waiting on a ward opportunity. Yoshi will stop his back just to sweep that one away, keeping Ninja in the dark for now. Hachimecha thinking about going over here. The Arctic Assault actually getting stuffed, but will give him Aftershock to try and live through it for a little bit longer. They flash over the wall, and Hachimecha ends up going in a bit too deep, as now Yoshi finds a stun, is able to start walking out, actually sticks around for the auto, so he will go down on that one, but ultimately will net a double kill over for Arya. Well, a double kill for his duo. Yoshi did actually end up picking up one of those kills, but ultimately benefit for for CGA. Rascal Jester is having a rough time dealing with Arya on this Sylas. He feels very confident about knowing his damage, knowing the fights he can take, and is already 3 kills into this jungle mid 2v2s. And that is sort of the issue with the Diana in this comp, is it is just somewhat exploitable. She does not have any disengage tools and is ultimately immobile when it comes to running away from the side of CGA. Vivid and Art trying to walk forward, giving Hachimecha time on that Mountain Drake. Will be able to offer a little bit of resistance stats for them, but Yoshi wandering over here. Possibly looking for a gank opportunity on the bot lane. But Hachimecha will be able to sneak away with this Drake in time. Does have Smite available. And for the side of Rascal Jester, picking up that Drake is it's not a bad look, especially when you are recognizing that you are not going to be able to take a lot of these fights until your Aphelios is online, especially with the Diana already starting off somewhat behind. Good hook from Vivid, though, to find his way onto Grendel. Guardian will protect him from most of the damage for now. And as it kind of stands in this top lane, the sort of trade-off is, while Kog'Kog is getting the matchup he wants with this Karma in the top lane, I would almost like to see some adjustments in that. Possibly could look at maybe a Soraka top, could possibly look at some other mages in the top lane, something else to survive that. But speaking of surviving, is Hachimecha going to be surviving Yoshi, finding him out in the jungle? The aggressor usually is this early Rek'Sai, but with no Hail of Blades, Yoshi is actually able to invade in on him and having 2 kills up on him. The Balmy Cinder adding that extra damage in. Yoshi bullies Hachimecha out of his own jungle. That is not a great feeling if you are Hachimecha in this game. To be bullied out by a tank welcoming in the Season 10, but this is exactly the strength of Sejuani that I've been talking about. The LJL has always had the large priority on these aggressive junglers, these fight junglers, the Lee Sins, the Rek'Sais. the Jarvins, but sometimes the tried and true, the simple bore that is just these tank layer CCs get the job done and even go toe-to-toe with Hachimecha here. CGA continuing to play passive on the spot lane. Rascal Jester putting a lot of attention around this bot lane. They know that they need to get something started here. And the earlier this Aphelios is online, the better. Hachimecha will opt to clear away some of the vision here. CGA looking for a bit of harass, trying to hold on to their pink ward, but not much to be done in the face of a Rek'Sai. Hailif Blades are no. Still a potent threat to the squishy likes of a Rakan. And this is one of those games where attention to Rift Herald kind of falls on the side of Rascal Jester. Yoshi, of course, can solo the Rift Herald as Sejuani, but it's not exactly fast, and the agency of letting Yoshi just kind of be on that top side for so long. Great flash from Art to avoid that Glacial Prison. Well, it's sort of an interesting note to talk about this Rift Herald for a moment. Maybe I will not have the time. CGA sticking around here. Hachimecha is coming over the wall. He wants to find something onto Yoshi while he has him isolated towards the top side. Ninja is rotating in, but Hachimecha is not long to just stay in that fight. Vivid going very low. The flash from Xayah is going to be able to finish him off. The ultimate from Arya stolen from the Diana will pull two members in and get himself a kill. 1-for-1 on that end of the fight as overall, Rascal Jester will lose 2. Gengo getting a flash ult auto onto him, and now he's forced to peel away. No ultimate to get himself away from Art here as he walks forward with the chakrams. The Moonlight Vigil is going to help finish him off, but now Art is kind of caught in a rough spot with 2 members around him, but Ninja is here to try and help things out as he's going to back away. Art actually is going to take down Rakan as well. He's going to take down Nap! Rascal Jester's Art is coming up huge in this one. Ninja abandoned his AD carry. He believed he was gone, and in the wake of it all, Art is going to Aladios 3 members of CGA and actually find himself 3-0, an early Essence Reaver well earned on him. Watch this one more time. So attention onto the bot lane here a little bit as Gengo, they find the engage here, they get the root up, and they take down Vivid. Great, you got him, you flash for that one, and you're able to secure that kill. Void Rush comes through, and Hachimecha does get the kill, forces a flash from Arya to pick that one up after it's all said and done. But now, Gengo and Grendel, no ultimates on either of them, cannot exactly stick around in this lane, and a beautiful sidestep from Art means that they're able to walk forward, and the Moonlight Vigil held only until he needs it. And then the Chakrams and Severum come up so huge in this one. Aladios is just tanking through this top lane set and Rakan, and there is not a whole lot they can do to answer him. The Moonlight Vigil giving him so many Chakrams for that fight. CGA are not willing to let that one go lightly. They look to put pressure onto this bot lane here. And overall, kills even means gold is relatively even, but with Art having such a gold steroid on him, it's a scary position for CGA as we take a look at the gold grass here. Arya and Art are both the titans of this game, but Art actually not that far ahead of Gengo, all things considered. As Yoshi continues to try and put pressure onto this top side here. And what I was actually going to start talking about before the fight started breaking out was that Rift Herald that now Hachimecha had the agency. Prior, Hachimecha really wanted to dedicate a lot of attention to this bot lane. You want to get that bot lane going before you isolate yourself towards that top side. And you leave any chance for Yoshi to turn that into CGA's favor. But once that play breaks out and Art ends up 3-0, Hachimecha has the agency to leave them alone for long enough to go secure that Rift Herald for himself. Meanwhile, on the top end of things, Cogcog doing what Cogcog often does on the Karma top, securing a small CS lead, as well as just poking away at some of the turret HP. And now as we kind of return to the lull state once more, CGA can continue to try and be aggressive onto Ninja in this mid lane, but don't overexert exactly how strong the tank stats are on Yoshi. Of course, you know, you do have that early tank boost, but you have to be careful. Sejuani isn't exactly the tankiest without her passive, so if engages run a little long, she is forced to eventually back out as Yoshi wanders forward a little bit here. Members of Rascal Jester are here and waiting though, so not exactly able to wander too deep in, as Grendel being looked at here does have the E to dash away from that one. Moonlight Vigil goes on to Ganga, but the ultimate returned to make sure he is not rooted up. Recognizes that Art has the Gravitum root and would not be able to stand there very long if the root ends up coming in, so ult for ult is not a bad look, but does take away some of the self-peel from Xayah there. Charge comes in, no turret plates to cash in on, but does half health the turret for them, as well as just pulling a decent amount of attention towards that bot side. Meanwhile, Nap is looking to try and put a huge dent in this top lane turret. Looks like Cogcog was rotating down, now here to clean out the wave. Will save his turret in time. Overall, looks like the plays will dissipate for now. Depth charge onto Arya is a great one to have for this team fight coming up. And with Ocean Soul on the menu, both teams can make actually very good use out of this one. Ninja and Hachimecha both will just enjoy having the Ocean Soul when trying to go all in, but you combine that with the Karma Shields coming in, and as well as Art doing his best to just do exactly as he had been, but hold that thought, the depth charge comes through, the E is good, and it will land onto Cogcog. He will be going down there, as Hachimecha going to be just forced to back away. And that is CGA now punishing the Karma on the top side that had ultimately, in the past few sets, had gone fairly unpunished. Cogcog now learns to be a little bit less aggressive on that top side. Was used to the island that top lane usually is, and ends up costing him in the end. But now, Ocean Drake spawned up and Rascal Jester are first at it. Will they just start up the Ocean Drake right away? It does not look like it for now. David makes the call to start it up, but a teleport coming in from Nap. He does have a good flank here. It looks like Rascal Jester will make the call to go all in onto him. He is a little bit far away from his team, but Art flashing away from that one. Grendel is here to just try and keep them CC'd and locked up long enough. Ultimately, no kills coming through just yet, but the ultimate from the Feather Dance coming in to try and zone away Art. Meanwhile, all the way on the backside, Arya and Nap are just all the way deep in there. CGA Nap is going to find a punch onto the Diana to finish that one off and try and get away from that one, limping, both of them kind of bruised and battered and just trying to see what they can do about all this. Missing the E might mean that they can find the re-engage here, rooted up, not able to find any damage, but Art is here to pick up the kill. that will be overall just a bit of a mess on both sides. Sort of an interesting position there, where all of a sudden in this back end of the fight, Nap and Arya are just exploding and just fireworks are going off on the wrong end of the map as Arya teleports in, possibly thinking that they're on the Drake, so teleporting in there to make sure nothing is going amiss as they start that Drake up for themselves. Art picking up 2 more kills in the wake of that fight, however. Great look for them now, but Vivid might have just found Yoshi before he's able to get out of the wall. That is a lot of CC coming in. Barely not going to be able to go down. Yoshi actually narrowly avoiding that one. Living through by the skin of his teeth. We'll watch this fight from the beginning one more time. So Rascal Jester make the call to go in onto Nap while he's locked up towards the backside. The ultimate takes him through that area, but Arya, watch him on the backside here. He's alone, he's isolated, and he knows where Vivid is. He makes the call to go all in. Then he is just by himself, fighting 1v4. Nap runs in to try and help him while the rest of his team deals with Art. And it is just a little bit too big of an ask for the members of CGA here. Fed or not, Arya did get a little bit overzealous on that one. Ultimately, they will grab the Ocean Drake for themselves, and not giving the shutdown over to Art will be nice for them. But the gold is spiking where it needs to be on both ends of both teams here. It will really just, and when that sort of situation comes about, it comes down to an execution test. It comes down to which team is playing better. And in scenarios like that where Arya is making the call to 2v4 this backline with Nap, it ultimately is not exactly benefiting them. So if they're able to clean up the play, get a few more items under their belt, they can look for something. They can look to try and pull something out here. But as it stands right now, those mistakes are being capitalized by the members of Rascal Jester. For now, though, Ocean Soul will be the next big breaking point. Neither team going to try and rush down Baron anytime soon, so they will wait for that. Meanwhile, CGA are just going to enjoy ping-ponging the waves for now, with Zaya a little bit behind in the item department, not having picked up as many kills as our friendly Aphelios. Rift Herald spawned up here. They will try and just use it to knock down the turret, but other than getting a charge, it's not going to get a whole lot of value. Most likely running out of time on that one anyway, so unfortunate circumstance, but not much to really be done on that. Yoshi looking around over the wall here, seeing if they can find something to hold on to, but Hachimech is going to find him out. As stunned to try and peel himself away, a long-range dredge line will find Yoshi, and he will be going down for it. CGA are not in a position to find a re-engage, but Nap looks like he wants it. He is showstoppering in. He does have the E to pull 4 members in. A huge haymaker coming in, and now Arya is here for the re-engage. He's going to find his way into the backline. Goes golden just to buy himself time, but Art is here. Conqueror fully stacked and has a ton of damage to make this work. His own Zanya is being used now. Will he be able to take down all of the members of CGA by himself? The knockup is good. Gango will be able to take him down, and that is CGA finding the fight win in this all. A huge play by Nap to pull in 4 members of Rascal Jester, and Arya, ready to capitalize immediately, is what they need if they want to pull this set through. A beautiful fight from the side of CGA off of what was a rough scenario. Losing your jungler off of a rough pick and losing mid lane is not how you wanted to start that one off, but beautifully done from CGA. Watch this one more time. Nap comes in. The showstopper is good, and he gets locked up, and they try to all-in him, but the E finds so many members, and the feather recall shreds through the lines of Rascal Jester. Meanwhile, Arya is just having his fun, all-inning onto the side of Rascal Jester. He gets baited a bit by Art's Zanyas and has to kind of take the fight elsewhere if he wants to keep his Conqueror stacked, utilize the W healing to make sure he lives through that. But beautifully done by the side of CGA there to maintain composure through that fight and recognize we lost our jungler. Yes, it sucks. Yes, we can fight through it though. Yoshi once again looking over this wall for a play. This Ocean Drake spawns up here. Getting yourselves up to Soul Point would be a great way to try and find something in this game, as CGA looking around here, seeing if they can find anything. But the members of Rascal Jester are first to look at this Drake, putting up some pink wards. One pink ward left in the Ocean Bush in the Dragon Pit, so they will retain some knowledge for now of when things will be started off, as Vivid going to be backed away by Nap rotating around the flank here. Glacial Prison goes in, finds none, but will back up the members of Rascal Jester as they look to try and burn down this Drake. A little bit of a desperation call from the side of CGA as the ultimate comes in. Arya will have the depth charge available, but he will get hooked up. He is going to go down. A lot of knockups coming in from the side of Rascal Jester, but the showstopper comes through. He ends up over the wall and is not able to follow through onto Art. Yoshi looks for the re-engage with the Arctic Assault, but is just not able to be followed up on. As now Art walking forward with the Severum, taking a lot of damage, but Grendel finds another huge knockup, but there's too many members of Rascal Jester still alive. He goes down and is not able to be followed up on by Gango. Ultimately, another beautiful fight, but this time, Rascal Jester are not as easily swayed, and when the engage comes in, it comes in hard. Arya did not even get to utilize the depth charge ultimate that he had taken when he got knocked up one after the other between the Diana, the depth charge on Nautilus, and the Rek'Sai coming in. Watch Arya here as he gets this multi-layer cake of CC that just prevents him from getting any value in this fight. Watch it one more time. Vivid finds a great dredge line right onto Arya, and immediately the call is made. Moonlight Vigil comes in, 1 knockup, 2 knockups, 3, all of them onto Arya just to make sure he's not able to find any value. And in the wake of that, Art is full HP, and Yoshi, of course, wants to try and knock him down, because you know that's the key to ending this fight in your favor. But at that point, the fight is lost. You've already lost one of your stronger members, and Gango can not exactly stand toe-to-toe with him, let alone at man disadvantage. Overall, we'll return to the little state for now. 2 Drakes apiece, but this is exactly what you love to see from a Game 5 series. Both teams are willing and ready to just claw and take every kind of hit that they can in order to pull this set through. Now Rascal Jester, posturing around this Baron objective. Can't exactly burn it down just yet, but retaining the vision control will give them the opportunity to at least threaten that Baron and force CGA to make a misstep. Looks like they will opt to start it up. They are spotted out on the ward, so they're baiting in the members of CGA here. Teleport comes in. That is going to be Nap on that top side, or excuse me, Arya on that top side there. And as they kind of pincer them in here, Rascal Jester need to find a way out. The Glacial Prison comes through. That is going to be Vivid going down in the beginning of all this. Now Arya flashing forward is onto Cogcog, but turns immediately onto onto Art. He knows who he needs to be taking down. Does he have the damage? He does not. The Zanyas is going to just buy him enough time for now. But Gengo finds Diana. He finds Karma. He's finding his way through this fight. And with Art dead, CGA are going to knock down the top lane turret. These death timers are long. How long are they? Remains to be seen. They can grab an inhibitor here, but what will they look for more? Hachimecha, zoned out towards the top side, is going to be forced to back, as now Rakan is hunting him just to keep him from backing. It looks like CGA are going to look for the game end. With Arya able to find the value he needs, it may have been just enough for CGA to find what they need. That is going to be the dredge line, locking up Nappa and forcing him to go golden, but one turret goes down, and now CGA can just finish both of them off. Vivid barely escaping that one, goes under Fountain for HP, but his teammates are just too slow. The Nexus is the target. While they are respawned, they don't have the time to finish this one out. That is going to be CGA stealing this game. What a slugfest this last game is, but beautifully done from both sides. And in the end of it all, Rascal Jester fall to the side of CGA, and you can just see when Rascal Jester started up the fight and they burned down one of the members, they found their way through it, they found their fight win. But when CGA have all 5 members ready and they stand toe-to-toe, they're the ones lifting their gloves at the end of this slugfest. And ultimately, CGA take this series. I hope you all have enjoyed. I do apologize for being slightly under the weather for this one, but I hope you have all enjoyed. I know I certainly have. This is going to be Dr. No signing off. If you have any expectations or things you would like to see from me, you can of course DM me on Twitter and follow me there for when the next few matches are going to be going live. I will be doing them every Wednesday between 7:30 to 8 p.m. is when I plan on starting. We'll be doing the rest of those leading up to the Spring Split Finals, which I will be doing live alongside the LJL cast times. Also, look out for me on April 25th. I do believe I will be casting a Valorant tournament there, and I will be tweeting that one out. So if you'd like more information on that, go ahead and follow me on Twitter at _DrNo_. It is also in below on Twitch, and I will be uploading these to YouTube very shortly for all of the round 1 playoff matches. I have been your host, Dr. No. Thank you very much for tuning in, and I'll look forward to seeing you again, and stay safe.